Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode. Let's get right to
I
it.
feel like I'm not practiced in this anymore.
I know, yeah. You have an off week.
Took a week off and...
Took a week vacation.
I guess.
Yeah. If this was our full-time job.
Yeah, I wish.
Someday.
Maybe. Hopefully. Be kind of nice.
It'd be fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Talk about video games and guns and food.
Be pretty entertaining.
We should have just turned the camera on. We were talking about tri-tip and chicken kebabs.
We were.
Got a little thirsty for the meats.
I've been looking at start here, I guess. Continue our conversation.
Might as well, yeah.
When we moved down from Utah, I sold my smoker.
Oh yeah.
Did I sell it or did I just get rid of it?
Hard to move, right? So
yeah, and it wasn't like a really nice one or anything like that. It was a real cheap one, but it worked real well. And I had done my custom modifications to it and adjusted stuff on it, so it worked exactly how I wanted it to, and all that good stuff, right? And but I've been looking now at new smokers.
Getting new smokers.
I could use a smoker.
Father's Day is coming up. That's always a good excuse to buy yourself something.
Well, I'm not a father, but
future father. Close enough, right? Call it Men's Day.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Traegers because they're
that's
the go-to.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But they're a little bit expensive, and I think that they're not as revolutionary as they once were.
Not as good value for the price.
Well, I still think they're worth it, probably.
Okay.
Right? I don't think that they're I think they might be a little bit overpriced, but some of the new ones have some crazy technology in them where you can do some really cool stuff with them. So I don't know if they're overpriced necessarily.
Yeah.
But I do think that there are other companies that make a smoker that doesn't have the bells and whistles, but it has the core aspect of it for way cheaper.
Gotcha.
Right? And so I don't need...
You just want a smoker.
Yeah, because I don't need all the technology. I don't need the LED touchscreen, blah, 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 You
don't need the temperature control from your phone.
No.
Anywhere in the world, you can be smoking your meat.
Don't need that.
Yeah.
Don't need that. I don't need my smoker to connect to Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. So you can play games on it or something while you wait?
I guess. I don't know.
You can stream the game to the screen while you cook your meat?
I guess.
I'm just trying to guess why you would need Wi-Fi.
But, yeah, I don't...
Camera inside so you can see your meat, and then you stream out to a big screen. So you can just sit on your couch and just watch your meat cook. There's got to be a market for that.
I don't know if there is a market for that.
Hey guys, come over to my house. We're having a meat watching party.
We're watching each other's meat cook.
Set up all the cameras, man. Get the screens. Oh yeah.
No, but I've been thinking about getting a new smoker.
Get a smoker. I have, if you can tell, I've barely dipped my toe into that world, but maybe someday.
It's a daunting task because if you grew up one time, you for example, if you're making a pork butt or a pork shoulder or whatever, right? It's not a cheap piece of meat.
No,
to buy a whole one,
big,
right?
Yeah,
it's big, and so if you screw it up and you either burn the crap out of it or it tastes gross or whatever, you're
shred it up.
I don't want to
feed it to the dogs.
Well, it's kind of I just wasted $40 on this or $35 or whatever
on a big cut of meat.
Even a brisket, for example, briskets are not cheap, and those ones that to make a good brisket is some work.
Yeah,
you gotta get it down. So you're gonna have one or two briskets that you just screw up on,
right?
And it's that's $100 or more.
So that's there's the learning curve plus the price curve of the hidden cost of learning a new hobby.
It's significant. It's probably my second most expensive hobby. Yes. Yeah. if I were to like go all out on it, it'd probably be my second most expensive hobby.
Could be, yeah.
But the payoff is nice because once you get good at it, like I can do pork shoulder or pork butt. Oh my gosh, I can just
had some good smoked meats.
Yeah,
I think I'd have a hard time personally.
Or doing chicken on it is the best.
Oh yeah,
it's the best because you set it, you low and slow cook it, and then you like get it nice and like cooked to like 155 degrees, right below done. Take them out and put them on the grill real hot so they get nice and crispy on the outside, and then it cooks it all the way through to 165, 166 degrees, and then it's so good.
My in-laws did turkey last year for Thanksgiving, smoked turkey. That was pretty good too.
Yeah.
You could tell that like, it'd been just that low and slow roast. Tasted a lot better than just an oven turkey.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I go to enough events where I'd serve food for a bunch of people at my current stage in life. I mean, it's just me and the wife.
Well, hey, like, maybe you, me, and Caleb need to get together and have Sunday dinners as a family
friend.
Yeah.
Big meat get-togethers.
Six of us could pound a brisket, probably.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe not a whole brisket. Might be a much, but
yeah, a little bit of leftovers.
Yeah, some goodie bags, some take-home boxes.
But certainly, at some point, I'd love to jump into a new cooking hobby.
Yeah, what's nice about some of that stuff though is like if you cook a pork butt or a brisket, it's like you can have just like a slab of brisket, right? But also brisket nachos, a brisket quesadilla, brisket with your eggs in the morning,
brisket sandwich.
Like there's so many, like it's such it's a meat that you can put in so many different things and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Every different
brisket way. Stir fry.
Yeah, sure.
Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
Brisket nachos.
Or like, shredded pork or pork butt sandwiches or whatever, Like,
that was always my favorite talking about Thanksgiving again, growing up. It's like, we have the turkey. You can eat just like straight turkey with the gravy, and then later that day, you do some turkey sandwiches or whatever.
Yeah.
And then mom always preps the leftovers. She shreds whatever's left, turkey salad, and then more sandwiches or just eating straight turkey salad. Like, you can make it last in so many different ways.
Yep, 100%.
Love it.
100%. It's meat is very. Some people just eat meat like as like a steak.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yes, this is a chicken breast. Oh yes, this is a pork steak. But like shredded meat in sauce.
Anything. It's the way to go.
Is amazing.
Different ways to wrap it.
Pork with eggs is like,
it's really good.
Super good.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite breakfasts.
Just
you take shredded pork and
just cook an omelet in it.
So you put it into the pan and get it nice and crispy. So it's already pre-cooked, right?
Yeah.
But you crisp it up in the pan in its own fat, and then you pour an egg in and scramble the egg with some salt, pepper, cheese.
Yeah, nice.
If you do a little bit of milk, I know some people do like cottage cheese in their scrambled eggs. Huh. I don't know. I've never done it. Sounds okay. Not a big fan of cottage cheese.
Yeah.
Anyway, then you do that. You get a nice piece of toast. Put the pork on the piece of toast with a nice thing of eggs on top.
Oh, pork and eggs.
Maybe some salsa, just a little drizzle on top.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's good.
That sounds good.
Or replace the toast with like a bed of hash browns. Now you're speaking my language.
Now we're talking.
This is why I'm 7,000 pounds.
Yes.
This is why I'm fat.
Well, carbs are good, so
protein's better.
Protein is better.
I like carbs with protein though. I mean,
that's killer.
You can't beat it.
Yeah,
you can't beat it. It's literally killer. Give you a heart attack.
It's killer in more ways than one. Ooh.
Anyway,
what is cottage cheese? It's just cheese curds.
I don't know.
With liquid. I was just, you said that and I was like, cottage cheese. Now there's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But
I don't know.
I haven't had it in years, and then I was like, what is it?
Because there's cream cheese, which is just cheese that's been not aged effectively.
Yeah.
And then what is cottage cheese?
I'm assuming you take the curds from the milk. That's part of it. You know, because like you can buy just cheese curds if you want.
Yeah,
But they're dry. They're not all liquidy and soupy.
yeah, and they're cheesy still. Like they would still like melt in like a.
They act like cheese.
Yeah, they're cheese.
I've been to Argentina where there's about 12 different types of cream cheese, which blew my mind.
12 different types of cream
cheese? At least. Dude, I couldn't even tell them apart. Like here, you know, you buy just the cream cheese by the block. There, that's like so many different types of spreadable cheese, and they all have different consistencies, and you got to figure out which kind you want. And that's just like that's normal. That's not even a different brands of different styles. It's no, there's different types of cream cheese. Queso cremoso, that means anything in Argentina. Yeah. Cottage cheese didn't exist though. So I was like, what is cottage cheese?
All right. Well, now we got to do a little bit of research.
That's just a brief. We can't even save this one for next week. We got to do the homework real quick right now.
What is cottage cheese?
Let the viewers know, Steven.
Cottage cheese is a curdled milk product with a mild flavor. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Heterogeneous, made from skimmed milk.
Skimmed milk? Oh, okay. The skimmed. Yeah, okay. The cheese curds you skim off the top.
No, I want to know how do you, oh, there it is. What is cottage cheese and how is it made? Blah, blah, blah.
When I was a young boy. You got to read the blog first.
It might be that.
Yeah.
Cottage cheese is essentially curds, which form when an acid curdles milk and cream. Like ricotta, mozzarella, feta, and goat cheese, cottage cheese is a fresh cheese, meaning it isn't aged like Parmesan or cheddar. While people have eaten something like it for thousands of years, the name cottage cheese dates back to the mid-1800s. It is thought to be the first cheese made in America, and it was brought to the U.S. from Europe. Blah, blah, blah. The story is that cottage cheese used to be made in farmhouses or cottages, where they would have an excess of milk from butter making. And would use the extra milk to make cottage cheese. So they don't leave in the cream. So there's less. So because for butter, you skim off, you let the milk settle.
Yeah, you take just the fats.
Layers, and you skim the cream off, and then you churn that to make butter.
To make the butter. And
so it's the skim. That's why it's made of skimmed milk. Whereas normal cheeses, you don't skim it beforehand. It's just the milk, and then you curdle it, and then
Okay. So in that case, it's just the leftover
proteins in the milk.
Yeah. Okay. That kind of makes sense, I guess. Cottage cheese.
I don't know.
Weird.
Not a big fan of it.
No.
I've never been a fan of cottage cheese.
Doesn't really seem to have a good cheese flavor.
It doesn't. Probably because there's no cream in it.
Yeah. You took all the good out of it.
So is creamed cheese?
Cream cheese?
Creamed cheese. I know what cream cheese is. Cream cheese is just like mozzarella, but they like blend it.
Oh yeah.
So it can't ever make like the proteins can't connect to themselves.
Gotcha.
So it can't become like stretchy like mozzarella.
Stretchy cheese.
I'm pretty sure I think they just like smush it.
And then just blend it and cut it, or cream cheese. Boom.
Yeah. Anyway.
Gastronomy.
Now that we've gotten the final G checked off the list there.
To-do list.
Are we gonna hit all of them today? No.
No.
We're not. I don't think so. Unless we figure it out real quick.
Didn't plan on that.
Nope.
Unless we talk about Assassin's Creed and how oh wait, that's video games. Oh, we maybe be missing God. All right. Well, God has abandoned the video games industry. I don't know if that's sacrilegious or not.
Was God ever part of the video games industry?
Probably not. You guys are on your own.
All right, well, let's talk about veering off the path of food onto the highway of games.
If you haven't heard,
there's
a new video game controversy.
Which I feel like is every video game now.
Yeah, which like in the big picture of things, it's not worth just getting mad at controversies on the internet. That's my advice. Don't even worry about things. I don't know. People just rage about things on the internet. I'm like, do you care? Like, does it affect you in your day-to-day life? Like, things suck, but like some people really let it consume them. Controversies, political or video games. It's we talk about things because it's fun, and I like, having opinions and insightful discussion, but like,
But honestly,
just
I'm in the exact same boat. And honestly, unless we're talking about it actively, I don't think about this stuff like
no.
Like I'll see like a video of it on TikTok or on YouTube or whatever, and like I'll watch it to like get some more like because I like to hear other people's opinions about it, right? So it's like, okay, yeah, but like it doesn't affect me on a visceral level.
No, and there's some people who just
like politics don't either anymore. They used to.
They used to.
They used to. But now I'm just like so over all of it that it's like
I don't know if it's a symptom of like the constantly online mentality, but yeah, some people really just like they find an issue or a controversy and just let it consume them.
Some people just need to go touch grass.
Right? Yeah. Just be chill. Just I don't know, enjoy life.
On this topic, one thing that this allows you to do is change your opinion.
Yeah. You can have more insightful discussions when you're not so like
because if it like
glued to one thing.
And one thing that has happened since Thursday when we first talked about this controversy that we're going to bring up is that my opinion has changed slightly.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
Steven, we can't be friends anymore.
I know. It's horrible.
Gasp.
It's horrible. I'm not in the in crowd anymore. So what are we
all right. Assassin's Creed announced their next game. Big surprise. It's that time of the year, I guess. Got to kick out a new Assassin's Creed every year or every other year. Assassin's Creed Shadow, which works because they have a few different studios, so that's why they can kind of keep with a good schedule. So I forget which studio was doing this one. Not the one who made Skull and Bones. But Assassin's Creed Shadow takes place in the Edo period of Japan, which is kind of the height of samurais. That's
like 1500s.
Yeah. That's the period of Japan that always gets like idolized. Like, oh, the samurais. Yeah. Like it's
because all of the shogunates had been consolidated under one emperor.
Yes,
right. That's like the beginning, if not like the
height
of the empirical. Japanese culture.
The Japanese Empire, samurais and ninjas, every cool thing that you know about Japan happened during the Edo period. So tons of video games, tons of movies and TV shows, whatever, take place during that era.
Blue Eye Samurai takes place during that era.
Blue Eye Samurai, yep. Solid show. So they announced their new game. Kind of surprising, Assassin's Creed hadn't had a Japanese game. This point, you're like, the whole point of the game is you're always like going back in time to some assassin from history, like ninjas and samurais. Like that'd be a perfect fit
for sure.
So regardless, they're doing it now, and they announced you get dual protagonists this time. And from what I've heard, it's supposed to be like actually two characters, two separate stories. Compared to, you reminded me the Odyssey, the Greek one. You could play as a male or a female protagonist, but it was the same story. But this one is supposed to be. You can experience a samurai type story that's more kind of combat focused, or a ninja that's more kind of stealthy, classic Assassin's Creed gameplay, whereas the combat's more their current modern ones. But then the two protagonists they announced, causing the controversy online, was a black male samurai and then a female ninja. Were your two choices for the characters.
And the black one is based off of a guy named
Yasuke.
Who was a real person in real life.
Yeah.
He was, I think, one of like the only black guys in Japan.
The only black guy in Japan
during that time period. Or whatever. And then the female assassin, and people are up in arms. I've seen more uproar about Yasuke rather than the female assassin.
Yeah, because that's the thing historically. Like, yeah, there were female ninjas. Like,
sure,
that's fine. But he was the actual historical figure. He was the only black guy in Japan at that time, and there's debates about whether or not he was even a samurai.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because if you look at their historical texts or whatever, like he was just a servant. We know he was just a servant to another samurai, or the daimyo, or whatever the title above it. And there was never any record of this guy owning land, Yasuke. And every samurai needed to own land. So like he's been what's the word? Kind of glamorized in media before. They have like the Black Samurai is pretty common in games and media. Like Neo was another video game where he was a character in there. I think they did an anime called Afro Samurai, which I haven't seen yet, but I heard it was pretty good.
I feel like there was one on Netflix about the Black Samurai.
That might be it. I can't remember where it's at, but could be Netflix. Afro Samurai.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, the concept, it's kind of cool. He's the only Black Samurai. The part of the main controversy is that Assassin's Creed is supposed to be historical. It's what it's always been, historical, with, like, slightly changed history somewhat, because sometimes they do something a little fantastical or whatever. Almost in, like, a la Raiders of the Lost Ark. Of like it's history but slightly different,
and then a lot of it different afterwards.
And then a lot. Okay, that's what I meant. Raiders of the Lost Ark, not Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But so it's like Assassin's Creed is trying to say that this Black Samurai actually existed and did this stuff, and so it's like, as we said in the beginning, do I care a whole lot? No.
Yeah,
but there is controversy.
I think overall, so there's two controversies with this game, right? This is the first.
This is the first one, yeah.
And I think it's the lesser of the two evils.
But it's the one that's...
And to be honest, I don't know. I don't even know if I would consider this first one an evil. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think I've formulated my opinion exactly. When I first heard it, I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I guess my opinion progressed from like, why do I care?
Mm-hmm.
And then I learned a little bit about the character, and I was like, okay, so like he probably wasn't this.
Yeah.
But like also it's a video game, so like it's made up. But then also I guess I'm kind of at the point where it's like if that's the story that the writers wanted to tell, fine, right? Like I don't necessarily care that they chose that. I guess my question is, why did they choose that? Instead of, because we've had, like, I guess my thought process is like, when we were in Egypt, the assassins were Egyptian.
You picked an Egyptian, yeah.
When we were in the Odyssey, they were Greek.
Yeah.
When we were in Italy, they were Italian. When we were in the Americas, they were Native American.
Mm-hmm.
When they were pirates, I think they were British.
Yeah, British. I mean, some of the characters were like Haitian and stuff because the assassin
was like British.
I think he was a British guy, pretty sure.
And so, like, whenever we're in a place, we are using characters from that place, right?
So that was the context I was given. Assassin's Creed is always somewhat historical,
yeah, or at least contextually historical,
yeah,
right? And so I'm just like, I guess that's what I'm kind of it's like. No, do I care that the main character is black? Not really.
No.
But also, like, it would have been cool to maybe, like, a lot of people know about Yasuke.
Yeah.
Or at least in passing, right?
Again, he's been dramatized. He's the Black Samurai. Yeah.
Right? Exactly. It would have been cool to either find another historical character that not many people know about and introduce them into that storyline.
Yeah.
And then you have like...
Or create your own original, like Ezio from the original Assassin's Creed was a made-up character. Sure. Yeah.
I guess like it just seems like you're kind of like, oh, it seems like a what is it called? A DEI fail.
Sure, yeah.
Right? So like diversity, equity, and inclusion, whatever, right?
It's like,
oh yes, we have to have a different, a non-white race in the video game. Oh, here's a black guy from history. It's like
perfect. We'll pick him.
That
seems like weak storytelling, like weak writing.
But you're in Japan. Yeah. They're all Japanese. And one of the funny things about this period of Japan is that they like basically closed their borders.
Yeah, no foreigners.
So it's like you could pick anyone. They wouldn't have been white. Like you pick the one non-Japanese person in the country at the time,
right?
And I mean, ultimately, like we said, it doesn't matter. But it's just kind of like why. It's just a question of why, right?
Uh-huh.
Like if your story leads a person to question the motives behind the story, it's probably not a good story.
Sure.
Right? Yeah. Like if you were to write a story and you're writing a bunch of characters, and one of your characters, the reader asks, why in the world is this character a character?
Yeah.
Like you've given them 77 pages and they don't progress the story. They're not a protagonist or an antagonist. They just exist.
They're just there.
And they're, there's something about them that just isn't right. It's like they probably shouldn't have been included in the story, right?
Yeah.
If this is a very similar situation, in my opinion, where you've written this story about a character and people are questioning why? This character.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I see your point.
And this is off the cuff, so maybe the analogy isn't perfect, but it's kind of just like if there's a reason for the character being a certain way, and you've chosen and you've explained those reasons, it's like, okay, sure. But if you're not, I don't know.
I guess we'd wait and see. Yeah, if the story made sense, but I think it certainly would have been safer to make your own character and then write the story from there.
And you could have even introduced Yasuke as a side character in the story.
Yeah, exactly. Which Neo did that. That was another video game.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people were comparing to that random brief tangent. Neo was about a white guy samurai in Japan, and people are like, "Well, you don't see a problem with that." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, but again, that was loosely based off of a real character,
and before anyone gets up in arms of us,
and it wasn't a ninja assassin."
Yeah. Before anyone gets up in arms about us, it's like, oh, but you guys love Blue Eye Samurai, and that's a half white person. It's like, you're not wrong, but that's a made up character.
Yep.
And they explained,
and it was the character they written for that,
and they explained how they got there, what they were doing, and the reasoning behind it. Right?
Yeah.
It's like, yes, they kicked out almost all of the white people.
Except for the couple ones at the top that were making money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so, if you're using it, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just feel like those two situations are different enough where it's not hypocritical of us to. And also, I don't care.
I don't care.
Like,
I do think it's funny all the trailers online, right? All the news this week. They're getting pretty heavily disliked in Japan, especially like on Twitter, and everyone's like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm sure that feels like a slap in the face to them.
This has been the best advertisement to go buy a different samurai game, I guess, if I want to experience my ancestors.
For sure. I'm sure that Japan. What is the Japanese? What % of the world video game market is Japan?
Oh, geez, that's a good question because it's got to be big.
Do you think it's equal to the United States? Because I think per capita, they probably play more video games than we do.
I would say,
but we have more capita.
More people. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we were equal. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think very similarly with probably like Korea too.
Yeah, that's true.
I know China blows us out of the water in terms of games.
Totally, yeah. For the games they're allowed to play. Yeah, Japan wouldn't surprise me. Like Nintendo is huge.
Yeah.
So, and that's...
I feel like mobile games might be a little bit more...
Oh, that could be... I know China's big into that as well.
China's huge into mobile games.
Yeah. Korea probably as well, if I had to guess.
Maybe we should do some research into that.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
The biggest game markets.
Because a lot of the best games come out of those countries.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just got to look at any of the Nintendo games.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of the best professional teams come out of those countries. So
true.
For any of those competitive games.
Yeah.
The other big controversy to briefly talk about, this was all a distraction. It's my opinion.
Yes.
It's all a big distraction. The price tag.
So let's set the table here. Previous games this is a Ubisoft game.
Yep.
Skull and Bones, the Great Pirate game, the first quadruple A game. $70 base.
Base, yeah.
Star Wars Fantastic Outlaws of
Star Wars Outlaws, yeah. Also $70 base.
But you could also pay $130, $120
Had the bonus editions.
to get the bonus editions. Yeah. Well, guess what? Assassin's Creed, $70 base. $130
premium Ultimate Edition.
And also, Assassin's Creed games, notoriously single player.
All single player, yeah.
There's a season pass on this one.
There's a season pass. Cosmetics. Woo.
Which, I don't know about you, but a season pass for a single player game is about as useful as a one-legged donkey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whole point of the season pass is like, limited cosmetics so that you can show off in multiplayer. Hey, look at these cosmetics that I got. Woo.
Yeah.
A single player game is supposed to have unlockable cosmetics. You're supposed to do stuff in the game, and then you make your own character look cool, but you're the only one looking at your character.
Yeah. Yep. No, I 100%.
The season pass, and then the one that, like, as a gamer, just blows my mind. You get day one DLC. They already announced, there's going to be additional quests if you buy the Ultimate Edition. Like, why didn't you you have day one DLC? Makes no sense. You already have the content. Put it in the base game.
Yeah. It's really dumb.
That's the most egregious part. Day one DLC, you get 3-day early access or whatever, which people have been doing that for a while for like streamers and content creators, but now it's just, you can just buy it just to play it early. Okay.
Yeah, it's very dumb. I don't know.
$130 in this economy to play a game 3 days early and get a battle pass
and get an extra cloak.
You guys know how many groceries you can buy with that extra money?
An extra $60.
Yeah,
it's like a box of Cheez-Its.
It's like not even a trip to the gas station,
dude. Yeah, also true. Ryan's been going to. This is like complete tangent.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of grocery prices,
segue into our next topic. Not at all. Probably not.
Sorry. Winco?
Yeah.
Like 50% cheaper to go there.
Okay. But it's a wholesale type thing, right? So you gotta you don't always have to buy big at Winco.
No, you can buy. So it's yeah, it's not wholesale. It's not like Costco.
Yeah, where Costco is, you gotta buy.
Costco's you like. Oh yes, I need 3 gallons of syrup.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I gotta buy a dozen muffins. All right,
I'll take 2.
Sure. 3 pounds of apples. What?
I just wanted an apple.
I just want a couple apples, man.
No, so Winco you can do it just like a normal grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know why they don't accept any credit cards.
Weird, but okay.
But they accept debit cash.
Cards.
I don't remember.
Yeah, what's the downside?
I don't know what it's out in the middle of BFE.
Yeah, that's true.
It's pretty far away, but it's so much cheaper.
What does BFE stand for? The big F in expanse?
No, it's kind of actually a pretty
okay.
Not racist term.
No, you don't have to tell me that.
It's a butt effing Egypt.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know why,
but that's a phrase, right?
All right.
I understood the context.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's down in Chandler, otherwise known as
BFE.
Okay, good to know.
We say that a lot at work.
Oh, yeah.
When we have like people like, hey, I'm going to build a house out here in
the middle of nowhere,
in Arizona. It's like, yes, this property is in BFE.
Gotcha. So yeah, so it's a business term. It's professional.
Yeah,
that's right.
My office is anything but professional. Something. The amount of F words thrown around is insane.
Wow. Yeah.
Like every 4th word I hear most of the time is like.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Winco though, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
not sponsored.
They're also employee owned, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's nice, yeah.
So, Anyway, there it is. So
there it is.
Yeah, $130 for a single player game.
Yep. On to the next This one's not a controversy, I guess. This one is just a fact.
This one's just a fact.
Just a fact.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I think we've talked before. We're connoisseurs of sci-fi.
I would say so. I was actually just thinking the other day, like, there are some really, really good, relatively slept on sci-fi shows.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like Warehouse 13.
Yeah,
Super good show.
in my opinion, early 2000s. That was the peak of science fiction. There was
Stargate Atlantis
there
as a
was
TV show.
so much.
Oh my gosh, Stargate Atlantis
stuff.
is probably one of the best TV shows ever. 7 seasons of just and storyline was great.
And I don't think you've seen. You got to watch Farscape. Farscape is
I feel like
so good.
What is that one about?
So it's a human astronaut, but he gets he's doing NASA experiments or whatever. Discovers quote unquote wormholes.
Oh,
He doesn't realize it at the beginning, but he ends up through a wormhole on the other side of the universe, and thus aliens ensues. Right, but he's the only human on that side of the universe, and they discover that he knows wormholes, and so all the aliens want him because they're like, whoa, FTL travel, hold up. So it's really cool. He ends up on a spaceship, and they got their merry ragtag band of different alien races. But like for early 2000s, they use a lot of Jim Henson's puppets, like from Sesame Street and whatnot. Sure. They look really cool though. They look really good, kind of creepy. Awesome sci-fi show. Very enjoyable.
Battlestar Galactica.
That's
a
classic.
Great one.
Early 2000s, man.
Kind of got weird towards the end.
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica did. Anyway.
Yeah. I don't think I actually finished it because it got a little weird.
I don't think I finished the last season.
A little bit later timeline, this would have been like 2010-ish, but Fringe was a really cool one.
I feel like I watched that one.
That was
Is that the one with there's like a portal or like a rift or something like that?
Not quite.
Oh no, this is the one where there's like a mirrored reality or something.
Yes.
Like
so Fringe they use literally fringe science, so it's like modern. You think it's just like a normal like cop drama, like Cop of the Week type thing, crime of the week, criminal of the week. But they're using like fringe science, and so it ends up pretty sci-fi-esque. Whereby like season 2 or 3, you find out, there's like an alternate reality thing going on. You're like, oh, this is pretty cool. Interesting show.
The Expanse.
Yeah, The Expanse. I never finished that one actually.
Oh, good show.
I was a season or 2 into it, and then I forgot.
Good show.
Yeah, it was good.
I think they just did season 6 recently.
Oh, gotcha.
5 maybe? Season 5?
I saw there was another one that I watched a few seasons into. Again, that probably would have been 2010s era. And then they killed the main character, and I was like, And I think they did a couple seasons after that, but I kind of stopped watching.
What was that? Firefly.
Oh, yeah, Firefly, yeah. Got to mention Firefly. Yeah, I can't think of the name of that one. I'd have to come back to you.
What else is there? Anyway.
Yeah.
We like sci-fi shows.
I love
sci-fi and also shows. Just like Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars.
Star Trek.
Yeah.
All those, the classics.
I'm not like a Trekkie, but I can appreciate Star
I'm not
Trek.
a Trekkie either, but the movies are really good.
Yeah.
Like the one with Benedict Cumberbatch is like the bad guy.
I've enjoyed it, yeah.
Anyway. What were we saying? We're connoisseurs of sci-fi shows.
Yes.
Continue.
And Doctor Who, we didn't mention.
True.
But I have watched Doctor Who in the past. I enjoy.
I've watched episodes. I've never been able to get into it, to be honest.
Sure.
It's a little bit too eccentric for me.
Well, and my opinion on it has changed, where I think really there was only like one era of modern Doctor Who that was good. Because I kind of watched all the way through as it was airing in America when it got big. And then I rewatched it recently, and I was like, really only the Doctors like 9 and 10 are kind of peak for me, because that's the point of the show. There's 15 something Doctors now, and it's always a different actor. 9 and 10 was peak. I tried rewatching into 11, which I watched when I was younger, and I was like, this guy's way too eccentric. He's just not serious at all. And the show is kind of funny, but it's kind of a cool sci-fi concept, but it got a little too goofy for me. So I stopped watching anyway, and they've just like since 9 and 10, ratings wise, it's just been they've been trying to recover.
Yeah, so they've come out with a new season.
Mhm.
It came out, I think the first 2 episodes aired this past week.
Makes sense. You see advertisements everywhere.
Yep.
If you haven't
And
heard
they're
about it.
pushing this new doctor real hard. I've seen tons of advertisements.
Tons.
I've seen a bunch of videos or ads of him like explaining how to say his name.
Oh yeah.
As like his real name, not like his in-universe name.
His actor's name is kind of hard to pronounce.
It's like it's a very traditionally African name.
Yeah.
He's a black actor, which I don't care.
No.
And apparently, no one wanted to watch this season of Doctor Who.
No.
So
it was even on Disney Plus. It was very easy to watch.
Yep.
For the first time, they had a deal with Disney. They put Doctor Who on there.
So I pulled up the stats for you. So, well, I pulled them up. Was this yesterday when I was texting you about it,
or 2 days ago?
Thursday, yeah, it was Thursday. So David Tennant is one of the more popular doctors, I would say.
It's number 10.
Yep,
he's the best.
And his episodes were garnered roughly 8.2 million viewers per episode.
Nice,
give or take, right?
Yeah, pretty popular.
So, and that's from when he was on 15 years ago or whatever it was. It was roughly 8.3 to 8.5 is what I was seeing.
Okay.
And then last year when they did their special episodes, his episodes got 8.1, 7.9, right around there.
Brought a lot of people back.
Right around 8 million viewers per episode. Live,
Yeah.
When the episode airs is when they watched it, right?
Yep. Pretty popular. Pretty big.
I don't know exactly what the cutoff is for streaming services when they consider like it.
Yeah.
Like episode release. Is it like the same day
weekend?
or I don't know. But the new Doctor Who, the 2 episodes that have released, because they released 2 episodes, had, so remember, 8 point something.
Yeah.
Let's call it 8.2 million as the average,
even,
give or take. These episodes had 2.5 million viewers.
And that was like 2.5, and then what, a little bit less on episode 2.
I didn't see what the episode. I didn't see per episode. I just saw the average was. They said roughly 2.5.
And if your peak is at 2.5, by the end of the season, you're going to be yeah.
So
viewer retention is already hard as is, but you got to start high to get to stay high.
In other words, it's roughly 31% of the viewers from
David Tennant,
which was last year.
Yeah.
Right? So last year you had on a couple of your episodes 8 million viewers, and now you're down to 2.5, which is 31%
which
of your
is kind of funny because I didn't watch the specials last year, but I did watch content. I watched clips of it because it was like an anniversary special. So as expected, those should be a little bit bigger, I guess. But I forgot exactly where I was going with that, but really, no, they're not going to get those numbers again. The 8 million.
I don't think so.
Here's what I was thinking. From what I heard, those episodes were not even that good. I think the 8 million was just people watching David Tennant. Or hey, it's a special 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. Like that's a feat. People checking in just for that.
Yeah, sure.
But I heard those episodes weren't even that great.
Also, wasn't there a girl doctor like last season?
Yeah, she was the previous doctor. She was a female doctor.
I didn't hear anything about that season at all. I'm curious what that viewership was like.
It wasn't good. I don't know the numbers, but the story was just.
So was she Doctor 14?
14? No, 13. I think 14 they're counting as David Tennant again for the special anniversary. He showed up just briefly, and then now we're on to the new guy at 15. 11, 12. Yeah, she should be 13. They've also like retconned the story so much where they've added extra doctors and previous doctors, and because I don't know, you can do that, I guess.
This is interesting. Okay. So this is from a BARB ratings website. So Christopher Eccleston, which was series 1, I suppose.
It was number 9.
In 2005, had a viewership of an average viewership of 7.9 million per episode.
Jeez, that's surprising. Their funding was like low back then. Like, the effects were pretty cheesy.
David Tennant for series 2, 3, and 4, which is 2006, 7, and 8, started at 7.7, and his 2008 series was 8.2. Average throughout the entire season.
And then Matt Smith.
Matt Smith, 7.7, 7.5. 2013 and 2012 and 2013 was 7.4 million. Peter Capaldi started series 8, which is 2014, with 7.3.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This is when I stopped watching.
2002. So that's pretty much this average, right? It's like
7 to 8.
It really is a straight. It's just a curvy line, pretty much straight. And then 2015, from 7.3 to 6.
Yeah.
2015 to 2017, 6 to 5.5.
Yeah. Steadily going down.
And then Jodie Whittaker is just the same thing.
That's that first drop off. That's exactly when I stopped watching Doctor Who.
So the 2020 season was 5.4 million watchers.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm trying to see.
That was the last one with the female doctor.
Yeah. Oh, this one says. Wait. Some of these graphs are difficult to read.
Statistics, am I right?
Yeah, so Peter Capaldi. Oh, I thought there was a black female doctor.
She was just in a. She wasn't one of the original numbers. She was just in an episode or a series or something. They retconned it a little bit.
I didn't realize Jodie Whittaker was white.
I think they called her the fugitive doctor, but she was just a one-off.
What is this guy's name? Nkuti Gatwa.
You didn't watch the video? You don't know how to pronounce it?
I've completely forgotten. Anyway, so
yeah, it's sad to see legacy science fiction.
Yeah, especially beloved legacy science fiction.
Yeah, it's just all downhill from here.
Which is sad.
It was advertised so heavily. I've literally seen it on bus stops around town. And I, in theory, would be a target audience, but I'm not gonna watch it. No chance.
I don't have Disney Plus.
No, yeah, there you go. Easy excuse.
I won't pay for Disney Plus because of what they did to Star Wars.
Yeah.
I'm so mad about Disney's.
I'm still borrowing Disney Plus, so yeah.
What they did to Star Wars was just the biggest tragedy ever. If there's anything I've learned, and this is going to be a Steven's hot take,
for the day,
is that when Disney buys IP, you should short that IP
immediately, because
it's going to go downhill like a rock from the heavens.
Not financial advice, but Steven's onto something.
So let me paint you the picture, right? Marvel.
Oh yeah. Arguably took a bit. Took a while, yeah.
But Stan Lee was still doing stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Stan Lee died in 2017?
And guess what happened right after that?
Yeah.
Into the toilet.
Looking at Marvel movies, yep.
What happens when George Lucas sold Star Wars to Disney? We got 2 decent movies.
Okay.
Rogue One was okay. I'll give Rogue One a pass.
Rogue One was fine.
Rogue One was good. Solo was very mediocre.
It was.
It wasn't really a Star Wars movie. It was a space western.
It was a heist movie. Yeah, great train heist.
There was no like lightsaber duels or anything like that, right? So cool backstory though. Like you saw some cool like young characters. Young Han Solo was cool. Young Lando. Young Chewie. Like
yeah,
all
cool. Right. The nostalgia.
It was fine. But then you had the Rey Palpatine series.
Yes, the Rey Palpatine series,
and that was just the biggest dumpster fire of.
Every time somebody reminds me of that, I'm like, oh yeah, she's a Palpatine. That was the big twist.
Yeah.
What? What was he doing in episode 6? Episode 5? When was she born?
That's a great question.
Exactly. That's I
Because she's what is her canonical age? Like
20 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that.
Like maybe mid-20s.
25. Yeah. And there was was the gap in between 6 and 7? I don't remember. 20 years,
I don't know
maybe.
if it was that much. I don't know.
I don't know. Crazy.
I don't know. But and then
Anyway.
you had so and now
IPs that Disney has killed. Yep.
and now you have Doctor Who.
Yeah. Which again, I don't think they bought Doctor Who, but
it's coming out on Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's
they've got their fingers in the pie.
It's some contract there. Yeah, fingers in the pie is a good way of putting that.
Yep, they got their fingers in the pie, and
it's going down.
What other IPs has Disney bought that has just been horrible for?
Oh yeah, I'm sure you can.
I mean, even Disney movies.
They're all subpar. They're all lackluster.
They used to be amazing.
Mm-hmm. Classics.
Like the Lion King.
It's gone are the days of like classics movies you're going to remember for 20 years.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't even remember Disney movies from last year.
I don't know what the last Disney movie was.
I didn't see it.
Nor I.
So
I think what was the last Disney movie I saw? Probably like Spider-Man 17.
Avengers Endgame.
Well, I saw that new Spider-Man one. Which was horrible. Oh my gosh, that was the worst movie I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, that's right. I've heard your opinion.
No
Way Home.
After
I think we already covered that one, but yeah.
After Endgame, my favorite movie that they've produced after Endgame was Eternals.
Whoa. Oh. Eternals.
I liked Eternals more than any of the other ones after Endgame.
It was a good popcorn flick.
It's not my favorite movie, Trevor. This is making a point that I think all the other ones are crap.
I know, that's why I'm Eternals. Okay.
I thought they were introducing a new storyline, and I was like, this is like the next phase. We're doing like Endgame Part 2.
The end of the movie had Jon Snow. That was the best part. I was like, that's Jon Snow.
The beginning of the movie had him too.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Actually, it honestly was the cast of Game of Thrones.
Just Game of Thrones
because
the son, what's his bucket, Stark.
Yeah,
was the main character.
Ned. Yeah, Ned.
Ned?
No, Ned Stark's the dad.
Ned's the dad. Nedard. Bran the Brave.
No, I don't remember.
I don't know. The one who dies. Spoilers.
Yeah. Anyway,
Disney, they kill IPs.
I think that's. I don't think that's even a hot take. I think that's just like nearly provable fact.
Yeah, basically. Would you like to show me your gun?
Oh, it's not my gun. I wish
it's not your gun.
I wish it was my gun.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a gun I saw.
Just a gun you saw. All right.
Yeah.
It's a gun. It's a dream gun.
It is.
Right.
I'll show it, and I'll. This is sexiest gun
through the
that I've seen recently.
Magic of video editing.
I mean, it's just a good looking. So it's a revolver wheel gun.
Oh my goodness! Is this thing fully semi-automatic?
It's no.
Actually, no, it's not. That looks very attractive. As someone who identifies as heterosexual, I am attracted to this gun. That is, wow.
Like, it's pretty perfect,
dude. And even like they did so much extra on the barrel. You've got the underbarrel attachment. You've got the red dot on top. They even were like, yeah, let's put a textured grip on the back too. Like, yeah, it needs some love back there. So any way they could have tricked this out, they got a friggin' compensator on it. Like, that's cool. That's cool.
It's so sexy.
It's extra, but it's cool.
Oh, it's 100% extra. But like, if you had the opportunity to like shoot that thing, you're not saying no. There's no chance you say no to this.
No.
Like, if someone said like, "Hey, here's a stock Glock or this," you're choosing that 100 times out of 100.
That's so custom. I can't even tell what they did. What was the base?
I don't know what.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
looks like maybe it's a Python.
Oh, okay. I could not have told you that, and I know what a Python is. I know what it looks like.
Yeah.
So it's 44 Magnum.
No, 357.
357 is Python. Yep. Okay.
It's got a Surefire light on the front, a Steiner MPX, which is a cool optic or a cool red dot. I don't know. I don't know if someone makes this compensator or if it's a custom made compensator.
That looks
But
nice,
it's
though.
got it's. I mean, the Cerakote is just gorgeous. Like you said, the textured grips on the back are just to die for.
Yeah,
It looks like it's
nice.
got a stippled hammer. Like it looks like it's got texture on the hammer.
Oh
That's
yeah, I
custom.
hadn't seen that until you
just-
zoomed in. It's nice. So
I look at this and I get hard.
Oh, well, I did say I was attracted to it, so that's fair. That's
I mean, it's just the one. It's just a good looking gun.
Can you imagine if, like, I don't know, if you're in the military or like the police or whatever, you get to pick your service weapon, you just pull that, dude. You feel so cool, like.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine you're a guy who gets smoked by that? Like,
Ain't even mad, bro. Nice gun.
like you couldn't be.
No.
You're like, oh man, I'm dying with a boner. That's like, I would. Like, if I got smoked by that and the cop came up and was just like, I'd be like, oh, Frank, bling.
Like, friggin' Clint Eastwood uses that in his next movie. You're like, that's it. He wins. Like,
the good, the bad, and the sexy at that point.
the bad guys just, they put their hands up. They're like, I'm done. I'm done for. That's.
Yeah. I came.
That's a good gun.
Anyway.
Well, thank you. Yeah, for our gun moment. Our gun bit.
I saw that the other day, and I sent a screenshot to Ryan and Caleb. I was like, "This is the sexy. Like, this is like
it.
perfection."
This is the one.
And Ryan goes, "I wish the light matched a little bit better." I was like, "It's like perfect, right?"
That's funny. I don't know. It's a little off-center there. That's the color's not quite right.
Yeah, it was the color. She was like, "It needs to be a little bit shinier or something." She said something like that, and I was like, "Okay,
fair point." Yeah, that's. They could have done better.
Anyway, should we move on to
Magic cards?
Magic the Gathering
is upon us.
It is upon us.
Never ending spoiler season, as I'm sure we mentioned last week or 2 weeks ago. Modern Horizons 3 is coming out.
Yep.
And we actually are getting real leaks this time, not just spoilers. Wizards of the Coast is finally.
No, we're getting spoilers, not real leaks.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, spoilers. Official
spoilers, not leaks from rando.
But then there were also more leaks coming out this week, which was very
that's
funny.
hilarious. I didn't know that.
Like, did they have no like control over there at Wizards of the Coast? Somehow things are slipping out. But
Death of a dying company.
Yeah, they got some good stuff coming out though. We'll talk Commander first.
Okay.
There's one that maybe convinces me to build a new Abzan deck, which is white, black, green. This guy and Abzan, kind of like Teamer, red, green, blue, has had a real dearth of commanders for whatever reason. Just that specific 3-color combination has not been that many or that many different strategies to do. Because white, black, green has just been like, you do some graveyard stuff, I guess.
Yeah, you could do like some token stuff, I guess.
Yeah, some token stuff, but there's not really a whole lot of variety.
Black doesn't really go in with token stuff that much.
No.
Yeah, that's rough.
This new guy looks pretty sick though. He's 4 mana, so 1 white, black, green for a 2/7. He's called the Necrobloom.
Okay.
Legendary creature, plant.
Nice. So he's not from Thunder Junction or Bloomborough.
No.
From Modern Horizons.
He's from Modern Horizons, which, as I mentioned before, has a story, but apparently Modern Horizons have never had stories before, but I don't know. The modern sets are supposed to be kind of out of time. I don't know. So I don't know where this guy's from. The Necrobloom. He's got landfall. So just whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you make a 0/1 plant creature token.
Okay.
But if you have 7 or more lands with different names, instead you get a 2/2 zombie, which is hearkening back to an old card called Field of the Dead, which was just a land where it had a similar effect. If you played it and you had 7 different lands, you make a zombie. I don't know why, but the nostalgia in me, the nostalgia factor. And then land cards in your graveyard have Dredge 2. And that's it. That's all he does.
So you can pay to put them onto the battlefield?
No. So Dredge, again, the nostalgia. I love this. Dredge is a really old, weird ability where it's instead of when you would draw a card, you can instead take a card with Dredge from your graveyard and put it into your hand, but you have to mill however much the X is. So it's like, start of your turn, you're going to draw a card. Instead, you can put that land, because it gives you lands, Dredge 2. You can put the land in your hand, but you have to mill 2. Thereby fueling your future dredges, like giving you more Dredge in the graveyard.
Yeah.
There's a really fun Legacy deck that I've never played Legacy, but if I were to play Legacy, it'd be this deck, because it runs no lands. It just runs cards with Dredge, and you can like dredge through your whole deck and kill your opponent on like turn 1.
Interesting.
Yeah, turn 1 if you go second, or turn 2.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a really crazy deck, because Dredge, they've almost never print, because they don't like the idea of drawing cards for free. But then also you're milling yourself, so you're giving yourself more card draw. It's just like a recursive effect that can be way too strong.
I mean, if you do it poorly, though, you could mill yourself out.
Yes.
Of the game, so there's like that, but like in a commander deck, it's like, you gotta throw 100 cards.
I got 100 cards, yeah. And so they only give it Dredge 2, but I like it. It seems fun. It seems pretty open-ended.
So whenever landfall, create a thing.
Create a token. And then
lands you control have Dredge.
Yeah. So you can always get a land back to hand.
Question. Couldn't you just like do like a super go wide strat with this and just put like 50 lands in the deck?
Do the landfall
and just like
make a bunch of zombies?
Like there's like a bunch where you can play 2 extra lands per turn.
Yeah.
Play put a land card from the battlefield.
Then you probably want more card draw, because anytime you would draw a card, you can replace it with a Dredge instead.
Yeah.
So not just at the start of your turn. If someone's draw 7 cards, you're like, I would like to dredge 7 lands.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to build it yet, but
that's pretty cool.
The Necro Bloom.
Can I see the art?
Yeah. It reminds me of like the Grave Mine from Halo. Big scary beast with like long plant tendril arms.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking you definitely want to run more lands than normal.
I would say, yeah.
Probably close to 40, right?
Yeah, I could see that.
And then put some extra landfall stuff in there, maybe.
Yeah, some extra synergies for that.
And then what else would you do?
You're dredging away, so at that point your graveyard is just another resource. It'd be pretty easy to fill your graveyard with stuff.
Yeah.
If you wanted to cast things from your graveyard or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Cast stuff from your
graveyard. More Dredge in there, why not?
True.
Actually just mill yourself.
It's just your deck that you try to lose slow with.
Yes. That's going to be our next deck building challenge. Who can lose the game first?
I feel like Caleb can already do that though with his life gain deck.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, he can just pay down to 0 life,
and then just like not switch with someone.
Yeah, you're like, and I'm dead. That's true.
I feel like Caleb already got that one covered in spades.
Yeah. Do you have any other cool commander cards, commander related spoilers?
I'll let you do the elf.
Yes, the elf. That I sent to you. It was like, all right, Steven, wake up. New mono green commander just dropped.
Let me do the Gruul one first.
Oh, okay.
So the red green one.
The red green.
Which honestly, it really sucks that I already have a Gruul deck, which very underperformed on Thursday.
It did
significantly.
You have to test it again, but
yeah, I don't think it was the best play test ever. I don't know what went wrong, but it just didn't feel. Anyway. So this is a red and a green for a 4/4. So 4/4. Pretty okay. Roshin Roaring Prophet.
Yeah.
He's a legendary creature, giant shaman, which is cool. And then when he enters the battlefield, you mill 6 cards. You may put a card with X in its mana cost from among them into your hand. Then you can tap Roshin Roaring Prophet, reveal any number of cards with X in their mana cost in your hand, add 2 colorless mana for each card revealed this way, Spend this mana only on costs that contain X.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. He's just a mana dork.
He's just a mana dork. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good. First ability puts an X card in your hand, presumably.
Yep.
Then you tap them, and you're like, yeah, I have 5 X cards in my hand, so here's 10 mana.
Oh, and by the way, one of them, I'm going to actually cast.
I'll cast one where X equals at least 10.
Well, probably 11 because there's probably a colored pip on there at least one.
Yeah, so X equals at least 10.
Oh, yeah,
and then
correct.
The rest of my lands can pay for the colored pips and maybe pump more.
I mean, red-green, there's no ramp in that.
No,
you wouldn't have any.
Even better, you just, what if you just find ways to untap your commander?
Tap it again.
You're like, oh, okay, I'll tap, I'll reveal these 5 cards again, and I'll get another 10 mana.
Because it won't go, it doesn't pass. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a few equipments that'll do it. That'll let them untap, or some one shots. But the equipments are probably the better way to go. Or 1,000-year elixir is a pretty good one. So you pay 1 and tap. It's just an artifact, and you just untap. I think target legendary or something like that.
Yeah.
So that one might also give them haste.
It just seems.
You need card draw, you need big X stuff, and untappers, and you're off to the races.
Turn 3, you get out a big X creature.
Yeah, presumably if you've got some in your hand.
You play, a green land and a red land, and then a Soul Ring, right? Mm-hmm. So that's turn 2. So turn 2, you can let's say if you play a green and then a Soul Ring on turn 1, red on turn 2, tap all 4 for your commander on turn 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Turn 3, you have 6 cards in hand. 3 of or you have milled those cards. You put one into hand.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You've got, let's say, 2 or 3 X spells in your hand. On turn 3, you tap him, and you have 6 mana plus 2, 7, 8. So you've got let's call it an 8/8.
Yeah, on average.
Turn 3,
and then it only goes up from there. Seems cool. Seems fun.
Seems pretty okay to me.
Yeah. It's a red-green X cost, which I think is new. They always toy around with like color combinations, doing the X cost stuff. Traditionally, it's been Hydras, but then they did Tyranids. So you made a pretty effective one in mono green.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that deck.
Yeah,
it works. It's stupid simple. It's literally turn sideways, attack. But
you do have to do math sometimes, so it's not.
Math's for defenders.
No, but you got to, okay, X is 10, his mana value is 11.
Oh, yeah.
I subtract 4, because that's what your commander says, and he gets 7 counters. All right.
Yeah. Once the X cost gets to 10, it really is gross.
Yeah.
Because you're adding another 6 counters onto him, where it's actually mana value. It's not even X value.
It's just mana value, total right? Mana value.
So it's really gross when you've made X 10. It's like, oh yeah, this is going to be a 10/10. Oh, actually, plus the other 2. Man, oh yeah, this is actually going to be an 18/18.
That's gross. And your commander just gives him haste.
Yeah, and probably so there's some trample somewhere.
Probably, hopefully.
There's like a Garruk's Uprising or whatever on the board or whatever it is, right? So
that's pretty good. Green is eating good tonight. Apparently.
There you go.
I did white, green, black. You did red, green. Now we're just green. Mono green.
I feel like in the past 2 sets, so the Cowboys of Gayness, Cowboys of Thunder Junction,
and the Fedoras.
No, not Fedoras. I mean this Modern Horizons.
Oh, this Cowboys. One. Oh, okay.
Green has been like really getting some good support.
Yeah. I don't know why, but
I don't know. I'm not mad about it because green's my favorite. Like.
Yeah, historically,
have green in them.
Green, I think even currently, green is weak in draft.
Yeah, probably because the mana base is so heavy.
Historically, like way back when, green used to be bad in constructed, but that's long since changed. We're now in constructed, at least, I don't know. Every meta is different now, but in Commander, white was considered to be the weakest color. But yeah, now I'm not so sure. Even in draft, dude, I think green's doing all right.
I think in Commander, black is definitely the strongest color.
Yeah, I'd agree actually with that one.
I think black is strongest in Commander, and then probably blue and red.
Probably blue, yeah.
And I don't know about white and
Commander. You almost got to start looking at the pairs as well because it's the.
I think Gruul is probably the weakest right now.
Sure.
Overall,
yeah.
I think mono green is stronger than Gruul is.
Yeah, I'd have to look at the stats. At least popularity is an easy way to tell, but it's not the end all be all.
I'll bet you that Gruul is more popular because it's 2 colors.
Mm-hmm.
I'll bet you there's more Gruul decks than mono green decks just because of the support for it.
I remember last time I looked at the stats like a year ago, I think blue-white was actually like the least popular color combination.
Yeah. But
again, that's probably changed.
I personally think, and I don't have any support for this, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're going to make a big green, a stompy X creature deck, if there's no red creatures that you want, this like even I think that my commander, my big green stompy commander, for a big green stompy deck is probably better than this commander if you're just basing it off of big green X creatures.
X creatures, right? Yeah, definitely.
The ability to add red in is nice because there's some of the tierings like Exocrine Cannon, Starstorm. Those are X spells.
X spells, yeah.
You know, which are nice to be able to put into an X deck. But in terms of like, I think that
what is your red adding?
Yeah,
because normally that's the point of commanders. You add more cards, more colors, you get access to more cards, more versatility.
But I don't think this commander, and I think he's good, right? Like I'm not saying he's not good, but I'm not convinced that he's amazing. For like he's definitely viable. I think he's definitely viable.
He doesn't revolutionize the strategy.
No, I don't think so. I think it's a very simple. I think the deck builds itself, which is not a bad thing, right? Like sometimes. if you're, I think this commander would be a really fun commander for someone getting in and building their first commander deck.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Because it's X creatures are not a complicated thing.
No.
And this guy doesn't have any super special keywords. It doesn't have Cascade. It doesn't have...
It's not complicated.
You know, whatever. All, yeah. He makes mana. He's a big mana dork, right? Which is cool.
Yeah. Cast your big spells. Go crazy.
Exactly.
Have fun.
And so, I mean...
Yeah, it seems fun.
In red and green, I think he's a good spell. I think if you want to build a red-green X creature, or X cost deck, he's a great pick for the commander.
Yeah. Solid, yeah, that makes sense.
I think if you wanted to just do a monocolor, I think a big green stompy green deck, mono green deck would beat this deck.
Fine.
I think. That's my opinion. Huh. I could be wrong. I would love to be proven wrong.
Well, what about the new mono green commander on the block?
Broken. This guy's stupid.
I think this one is an actual spoiler, so it's a little blurry. We can put it up on screen if we want. It's pretty legible. This is Eladamri, who's a famous character from Magic. I can't read his last name because it's fancy. But he's a 3-mana, 3/3 elf warrior. Eladamri's always like the leader of the elves, one of the big ones. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. You can cast creature spells from the top of your library.
I thought it was creatures and lands.
No,
just creatures.
Just creatures for this guy.
Oh, that's okay.
And then you pay a green, tap him, and 2 untapped creatures you control. Which, important to note, they don't have to get rid of summoning sickness because it says he's tapping the 2 untapped creatures. Then you reveal a card from your hand or the top of your library. If you reveal a creature card this way, put it onto the battlefield. Activate only during your turn.
Oh, darn. I can only activate that during my turn.
Oh, I see. There's a giant...
Atali.
Yeah, there's a giant...
Atali's red and green.
Cultivator Colossus, Blightsteel Colossus.
Oh, yeah, Blightsteel Colossus would work.
He costs 11 mana. Well, I guess I'll pay 1 mana and tap 3 worthless creatures, and then just get an 11/11 onto the board for free.
Yeah, it makes every single card in your deck a 4-mana card.
Yeah.
Or every single creature card in your deck. A 4-mana creature.
4 mana, yeah.
Because you're going to tap your Land War Elves and your whatever else. And
if you've got tokens, this guy goes insane. If you've got, we talked about untap effects, untap them, you can do it more.
I think you can only do it once per turn, right?
No, it just says activate only during your turn.
Only your turn. Oh,
and you tap him to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's the
I don't see the downside. 3 mana, 3/3.
no.
Just look at the top and cast creatures from the top is good, but then you can just cheat creatures into play.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna build, which I really want to, a small green stompy deck,
Small green.
non-X creature green
I
stompy deck,
gotcha.
right?
Just actual like fat creatures.
Yeah, like the 8/8s, the 10/10s,
Mhm.
all the big dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Um,
Rhinos and stuff.
Yep, exactly. Like this guy is definitely a top contender for. I mean, if not the top contender for it.
Yeah, because you're not if you're not casting, you're cheating into play. It's the mono green cheat big stompy.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? What's the is it Apex Devastator the four?
Apex Altasaur is the dinosaur. Apex Devastator is the big chimera thing.
Yeah, I don't remember which one it is, but there's one. One of them has Cascade, 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 Cascade.
Oh, that one has to be cast. I'm almost positive on a Cascade.
This doesn't count as cast; it's pudding.
Yeah, it's a put.
Oh, so Cascade wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. Pretty sure that's how Cascade goes. It's got to be a cast.
I thought it was an ETB trigger. But I think you're right.
Yeah, because Cascade triggers
because they enter the battlefield before.
Yeah, it's when you cast the spell, it cascades based on the mana value.
Okay, so that doesn't work as well there.
No, but there's other choices. So mono green's eating good.
Well, let me pull up my other elf real quick.
Oh yeah.
My where do you go? Right there. Oops, that was the gun. Right there. The Evolution Witness. It's another elf. 3 for a 2/1. You can pay 2, so it's a Evolution Witness. Elf Shaman Mutant. 3 creature types. Like I said, 3 for a 2/1. You can pay 2 and adapt 2, which is if this creature has no 1/1 counters on it, put 2 1/1 counters on it. And then, whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on Evolution Witness, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to paint this picture real quick. Just real quick, there are about a gazillion green decks that put counters on cards
on things
every turn.
Yep. And then just anytime you put a counter on them, you just get a thing back from your graveyard.
Yeah.
It's a recursion on a stick. Very good.
Really easy recursion on. And it's not even like, oh, you have to remove one of the 1/1 counters. No, it's whenever one is put on him.
There's no hoops to jump through.
It's like, oh yes, here's a benefit and the benefit.
he does it himself anyway, in case you're in one of those weird green decks that doesn't put counters on things.
I don't know of any green deck that doesn't have at least a little bit of counter synergy.
At least a little bit.
I mean, everything.
Yeah.
It's a good card.
And it's a common.
Which is stupid.
Yeah. Modern set, man. They're pushing Pauper on us too. My favorite common on the theme, although I don't think this one's good enough for Commander. This is the Basking Brood Scale. The Eldrazi got to the lizards, man. Eldrazi lizard.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's got like a weird like tentacle arm growing out of his side. So the Basking Brood Scale, 2 mana, 2/2 devoid, so he has no color.
Nice.
Even though he's 1 and a green. He's also got the adapt, so 1 and a green, you can put a 1/1 counter on him. Cool. And then whenever 1 or more 1/1 counters are put on Basking Brood Scale, you make the little 0/1 Eldrazi spawn creature token.
Yeah.
That you can sack for a colorless.
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of stuff with those.
The 0/1 Eldrazi spawns. Also common, which is important to note. I saw this guy and immediately I'm like, wait, whenever I put a counter on it, I get a token. Okay, I have like 4 different combo decks that use that concept. My original combo deck uses this concept. Put a counter on a thing, get a token. Okay, what if I sacrifice the token to put a counter on a thing? Money.
Well, and
in Pauper,
isn't there a card where it's like whenever a creature enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on other target creature?
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's just an infinite. That ends the game right there, right?
Yes, if there's no way to end it.
If it's not a may, if it's a you have to, you just stalemate the game into oblivion, right?
So in Pauper, like in Commander, there's a billion different ways to combo with this guy.
Yeah, combo and a stick with this guy.
For a random 2-mana common creature, common lizard. In Pauper,
What did you say? Combo with a ham sandwich?
Combos with a ham sandwich, yeah.
I like that phrase.
It's a random old black card. It's a 1-mana aura, and it's whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, you put a 1/1 counter on the enchanted creature. And so because the little tokens are the Eldrazi Scions that can sacrifice themselves to get a colorless.
Infinite mana, infinite color.
Yeah, and you can choose to sacrifice them, one at a time, and you put the 1/1 counters on him, so then you get another spawn, and then you sacrifice that spawn. So you get him infinitely large at the very least. You have a giant on early as turn 2, I think. No, turn 3. It's got to be turn 3 in Pauper. You can have an infinity creature. If you want to kill your opponent, there's another black common card where it's because you have all that floating colorless mana. This one is pay 1 mana and sacrifice a creature to look at the top 2 cards of target opponent's library and remove 1 from the game. So you can mill your opponent with all your floating mana. Pauper combos. I'm going to have to build the Eldrazi Lizard deck. It's pretty cool. The consistency, if I can have 4 of each of my combo pieces, oh man.
I mean, I just feel like you win at that point.
It's so much easier than building a commander combo deck. Jeez. You don't even need tutors. You just need draw.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for the Basking Brood Scale.
Yeah, that's going to be nasty, to say the least, I think.
Oh, yeah. Do we want to do favorite Magic card from history, our brand new segment?
Brand new segment. Well, we can start it now.
Oh, yeah.
Two episodes before 52. Yeah.
Our numbers were a little off.
I don't know why. Like, I sent you that picture last night.
Yeah, it was
42, 45. Like,
this is how you count.
Yes. 41, 42, 45.
So one of my favorite cards in Magic, because it's hilarious, harkens all the way back to Magic Alpha, and there's no lore behind this at all. Alpha didn't even have flavor text, so like we know nothing about this. Is the Dingus Egg.
The Dingus Egg.
The Dingus
is probably the best name of a card I've ever heard.
It's so funny. What's a dingus? I don't know, but you're a dingus.
This is the egg of a dingus.
The egg of a dingus. It's not good. We'll put it up on screen. It's a 4-mana artifact. Whenever anyone loses a land, Dingus Egg deals 2 damage to that player for each land lost. So if a land enters the graveyard from the battlefield, you lose 2 life. It's like you're already losing a land.
This is kind of like a poke in the eye.
It's just a big screw you.
Like you got punched and then they poked you in the eye.
Which, like Alpha, old Magic had some land destruction, so it's not good. But it's
like strip mine, I guess. It's
a Dingus Egg, and it pairs with the Dingus Staff. This is my twofer to share for the week. The Dingus Staff is a 4-mana artifact. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, Dingus Staff deals 2 damage to that creature's controller.
Oh, that's actually not a bad card, though.
Yeah. That one has a use case.
An anti-sacrifice,
right?
thing?
Yeah, but the Dingus Egg and the Dingus Staff together, you control the Dingus. There's
what is there? I wish there was a card called Dingus.
Yeah, just a Dingus. It doesn't exist, not yet.
I mean, that feels like a fail on.
There's no lore as far as I can tell. They just put the Dingus Egg in Alpha just to be funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
that's really funny.
Maybe one day we'll find out what's in the Dingus Egg.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my funny Magic card. Favorite Magic card to share for the day.
I like that one. That's great. And on that note, shall we end her?
Let's do it. Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.